Well, hello everyone, and welcome to vlog number 4 from the First Congregational Church of Concord in talking about our transition, specifically around our building. When last we left you, we had shared that in June of 2019, right? Yeah, 2019, the congregation voted to begin the process of selling our building and
No,
looking.
2018.
2018.
Right.
Oh, but I thought December.
2019 was last year in the middle of the pandemic.
No, that was 2020.
Oh, gotcha. No, you're right.
Anyway, it was a little while ago, everybody, that we voted. The congregation voted to sell the building and start that process. And then we gave ourselves a chance to breathe over the summer, largely because I headed off for a 3-month sabbatical in July, August, and September, and spent a large chunk of that time in Scotland, having not had been there since I had graduated from college. I studied abroad there in my junior year of college. And one of the things that happened while I was on sabbatical internationally, which was kind of fun, I was in Edinburgh at 1 a.m. connecting with a brand new group of leadership that I just joined called Fire and Water Circle Leadership. On our first Zoom call together. It wasn't the first Zoom gathering I'd ever been a part of, but it was one of the first, like I could probably count on one hand. So that in of itself is a little to realize. But so a Zoom call to really talk about what it means to become an initiated elder in this time of really the planet and humanity. But one of the things that we used as a tool during that whole leadership program is what's called the Circle Way. And the book we read to introduce ourselves to that process is called A Circle Way, A Leader in Every Chair, which was written by Christina Baldwin and Anne Linnea, originally in 1992. And they've done at least one, if not two, editions beyond that to update things as needed. But it's really about a way of being in the world, and it's a structure for deep conversation and therefore wise outcomes. And so as soon as I started reading the book while on sabbatical, it just suddenly struck me that this is what we need in this congregation as we began the process of looking at selling our building and all of what that meant. So I came back from sabbatical the very beginning of October and brought it to church leadership. And there, I'll let you pick it up there, Tim. How was the response, I guess, is the best question.
Well, I think people were very curious about it and wondered how it might go. I think adding to that was the idea that we kind of decided, the two of us kind of decided to propose that while we would still have a church council, the 8 or 9 leaders who are representative of the committees in the church and so forth, that we would open up to anyone in the congregation who wanted to come to Circle and make Circle a place where through conversation and consensus, the important decisions about our future would be made. And the council wouldn't be vestigial, but the council would more help the church body keep running and all the things that have to happen. But that the discernment of a direction would be given over to Circle. That was quite a moment of decision, which impacts us to this day.
Yeah. So we started in October. I think it was October. It may have been November because we talked about it for a couple months before giving it a try for the first time. But I think it was November, and began having monthly Circle gatherings. And through those, had a chance to really, a large piece of it was to get to know each other well. It really opens up a space for saying hello to one another and really introducing one another on a deeper level. But then also looking for decisions around who we wanted to hire as our attorney through this process, who we wanted to hire as a real estate agent through this process, and just really had a space to really be in conversation and creatively make decisions together. And so, yeah, it's been a wonderful model for us. I would say one of the greatest things of doing Circle in person, and talk about the fact that it hasn't been in person in the past almost year, but doing it in person, you get to set up a center, and for in church terms, almost it's an altar that often tied to the theme or themes of what we were talking about that particular day. And one of the gifts within that is really being able to lay down whatever your thoughts, ideas, opinions, stories are into the center so that everyone around the circle can see what it is that you're sharing without feeling like they have to pick up what it is that you're sharing. So it really creates a space of open conversation and communication in that way.
Yeah, a lot of people have spoken deeply, who have hardly ever spoken in any meeting before in church. And it's been very powerful. I have to just share that one of the early ones, we wanted Circle itself to be a theme. So if you don't know Amelia, she has an amazing sense of style and design. And so in our Circle, among other things, we had, this is about circular objects, an old hubcap and a hula hoop. So,
Yes, exactly.
and
I
it
mean,
was very cool.
if you're gonna talk about circles, you need some circles to look at. Absolutely. Yeah, yeah. So we met once a month with that process through our last one in person was February of last year.
Yeah.
And then after uh, we started quarantining in March of last year, I think took a month or so off there as well, and then decided to re-engage online. But we also committed to not making, we didn't vote on anything. We haven't really online without people, because not everybody can be present online. And so who would like to be. So yeah, so we'll leave off with you there, as they say. There's more to come. Tim, any other final thoughts you have with this particular section of our story?
I just think I would recommend to anybody who's trying to make difficult decisions in a group, the Circle Way is a wonderful and very accessible thing, and can be a shared leadership model, which is wonderful.
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, I'll include in the description below a link to be able to access the book if you're interested. So thank you all for joining us for this blog, and we'll see you in the next one.